Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my historical challenge using the Tampa Bay Lightning. Alright, so we are July 1st, which means that there's free agents available, and yeah, so I just spent about 30 minutes trying to make a trade to make my team better, and I failed. I just can't get anything going, and I'm not trying to go after like 5-star players or anything like that. The two main players that I tried to go after are defensemen that are 3 stars, namely Sergei Zubov and Steve Duchesne. But both the Quebec Nordiques and the Rangers are way too, well, they want too much. So I kind of gave up on that idea. So then I looked at the trade block. There's nothing good there. And then I looked at the free agents. And there's nothing good there either. So I think we're going to go ahead and do the draft today. And this season is going to be the next season. As you can see on the screen here, in 1994-1995 there was a lockout in the NHL, which means that the season is going to start at the end of January. So I'm going to kind of re-evaluate then and see maybe if I'm able to make a trade sometime then. I have a few players that I don't mind parting ways with, but they have very little value, and they're not really allowing me to get anything interesting in return. Even if I add draft picks or anything like that, I would have to give up the rights on like Steve Sullivan, which is, you know, he's going to be scoring goals for us here pretty soon, so I'm not sure about making that change. So I think we're gonna kind of keep what we have here. However, I am signing right now a whole bunch of young players, so hopefully one of them can step up and play well for us. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go through the news here because there's been a bunch of retirement. So Jan Eriksson was now in Winnipeg. He retired. He was only 31, so he's gone. Michel Goulet also retired at 34, despite having a pretty decent 62-point season last season, 30 goals, but he decided to retire, so he is gone, and Quebec is going to retire his number. Then we have Wayne McBain with the Islanders that decided to retire. He was only 25 years old. Mike McPhee is retiring with the Stars. He was 33 years old. He was still a 2.5-star player. Rob Ramage decided to retire. I wasn't re-signing him anyway, so he's gone. Dave Taylor is retiring with the Kings. He's going to be gone. He was 38, 2-star player still. The Kings are going to retire his number. Brian Trottier retires. He was with the Quebec Nordiques, so he was 37, a 2-star player. Had 2 points last season. And the Islanders are going to retire his number. And then I just talked about the lockout, so there's the season is going to start really late this season because of that. And then we have like the players that are entering the league here. By the way, we have the 7th pick in the draft, so we should be able to get a decent player. And here we see all of the players that I made offers to. I did make an offer to Mike Eastwood, but the Toronto has his rights, so I might not be getting him here. I couldn't even click on submit, so I'm not sure why that's, you know, showing there, but anyway. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and advance a couple days, then maybe something's gonna show up for us. Alright, so Glen Metropolitan contract, okay. Very worry. There you go. Oh, there's been a trade between... Oh, there's been quite a few trades. Alright, so there's been a trade between the Nordiques and the Sabres. The Nordiques traded Igor Larionov to the Sabres for Matthew Barnaby. Wow. Larionov is getting older, so I think Quebec got the upper hand here. They get an energy player that can play a little bit. So yeah. Then there's been a trade between Edmonton and Anaheim. So Edmonton got Igor Veritsky and Stefan Mayer for Ivan Volchek and the rights to Ian Herbers. Yeah, that's a small trade here. Not too enamored with it. And then Chicago and Ottawa made a trade. Peter Teschkel goes to Ottawa for Joseph Dano. Dano had 44 points for the Sens last year. Alright, and then we have a trade proposal from the Quebec Nordiques. They are offering us Paxton Schulte for Brent Gretzky. I'm going to say no to this. Alright, so when is the draft? The draft is tomorrow. That's always fun. Oh, lots of news here. Okay. Okay, alright. Oh, see, they didn't keep the draft order, so it was showing me as having the 7th pick in the previous season. No, apparently I have the 10th pick for whatever reason. So we might still be getting a decent player. We'll see who's available at 10. Kuntar and the Canadians agree to move on from each other. Okay, Craig Ferguson has been bought out. Eric Charon bought out. Patrick Schellberg got bought out. Yeah, he's not that great. Gord Krupke and Corey Kosher, sorry, have been bought out. Vyacheslav Butsayev, Andre Faust, Peter Briza, Justin Duberman, Jeff Sargent, Leo Gudis, Daniel Gauthier, Mark Major, Mike Needham, Joel Savage, Phil Van Stefanelli, Patrick Lebeau, Craig Fisher, Brent Grieve, Peter White, Yaromir Dragon, Edward, Dan Lambert, and Jamie Leach have all been bought out. Alright, let's go ahead and do the draft and then see who we get, and then we can kind of see if I have everybody here signing. That's going to give me 43 contracts. That's enough to start the season. I usually like to have a little bit more, but like I said, there's really nobody. I wanted a D-man. I wanted to get a D-man that would be a little bit better than what I have, but maybe not by all that much. And the best D-man that's available was Randy Mahler, which was a 2-star defenseman. And even then, I think my scout is probably drunk. So, I don't know. I didn't want to go after that, so... Yeah, not the greatest draft of all time, huh? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pick until human, and then we're going to see who is available. Alright, so the first overall... Oh, dear God. The first overall pick in this draft was Jeff Alpern. Yet again, that kind of shows that the game overvalues defensive forwards. That's something that I've been saying since last year. Milan Eduk went to San Jose. The Ottawa Senators took Patrick Elias. All right. In my Sens run last year, I did acquire Patrick Elias, and he played for me for a while. The Blackhawks got Dan Boyle. The Panthers got Jose Theodore. The Buffalo Sabres got Matthias Olund. That's a good pick. Montreal Canadiens got Jeff O'Neill. Philadelphia Flyers got Chris Clark. And the Oilers got Ed Jovanovski. So we have Thomas Vokun on the board, but I'm pretty well set up with goaltenders as it is. Then Lubomir Wisnowski would be a pretty good pick. Ryan Smith would be a pretty good pick. Then we have Radek Bank, Chris Drury, Jeff Friesen, and Oleg Tverdovsky. Lubomir Wisnowski, I like Wisnowski a lot. I like Tverdovsky a lot. but I think I like Ryan Smith better. He's kind of a... If you follow me for a little bit, you know that he's kind of my type of forward that I like. So I'm going to pick Ryan Smith here in the first round. Pick until human again. Alright, so we have a bunch of 2-star potential players. So Ryan Johnson, Chris Mason, Richard Park, Vitaly Proshkin, Francis Bouillon, Daniel Markov, Trey-Eric Perrin, and Yannick Tremblay. I think I'm going to go with Francis Bouillon. Underrated little defenseman. He was small, maybe that's why he was underrated, but he's a decent player to defend in his own zone. I'm not going to be expecting any offense from him, that's for sure. Alright, now we're in the 1.5-star potential players. Just for fun, who's my scout suggestion? Or risky suggestions? Okay, so Shane 90 is a risky suggestion and a safe suggestion. That's interesting. Alright, so who do I go for? Oh, there's not a whole lot of talent there. You know what? I'm going with Neskash. I think he did play in Tampa Bay after being in Ottawa. Pretty sure. Yeah, he sure did for a few years. So we'll take Stan Neskash just because he did play for Tampa Bay. There you go. So I'm piling up on defensive defensemen, apparently. Oof. Alright, so what do we have here? We have Jamie Wright, Mike Watt, and Straza Bosco. I think I'm going to take Jamie Wright. A forward that may play on the 4th line one day. Probably not. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, well, the computer picked my last selections. That sucks. I should live, but that so sucks. Alright, so I picked Jamie Wright, then the computer picked Petr Yuzevka in the 5th round. In the 6th round, Dmitry Shulga. In the 7th round, David Van Drunen. And in the 8th round, Paxton Schaefer, the goaltender. And that's it. It's not like I would have, you know, taken a player that would have turned out to be a 4-star player or anything like that, so I don't really mind that I messed up. It just sucks. I like to have complete control, but that's okay, I suppose. Alright, so the best drafts belong to the Panthers, the Jets, and the Penguins, and the worst to the Rangers, the Sabres, and the Bruins, according to what they say. Panthers got Theodore, Brett Lindros, Rhett Warner, Chris Dingman, Tommy Mietinen, Pukpov, Tobler, and Rosansky. Jets took Jeff Reason, Yannick Tremblay, Hunter Luger, Karlamov, Vopat, Brugman, Emval, and Savilov. And the Pens took Sheldon Surrey, Eric Perrin, Shelly, Fiajanov, Herbert Vasiliev, Schmidt, Josefson, and Karchenko. Wow, lots of names that I'm not super familiar with. I guess that wasn't a great year for the draft there. Alright, so we have gotten some more players. So, alright, so Glenn Metropolit signed. So as you know, I sign my players when they turn 20. So all of those guys are 20. Gilevike for Vili Peltonen, I do not think so, sir. Do not. insult my intelligence. Alright, and looks like my neighbor is doing noise outside, so I do apologize for that. Alright, so Hans Janssen signed. Now let me go back and check for the free agents now that a lot of people have been bought out and everything. Maybe we're gonna see some differences. Alright, so again, you know, look at that. That's, you know, that's pretty light. So, you know, Randy Mahler, I don't really want to. Oh god, he did score 50 points in the AHL, and he was a point per game in the NHL a year ago. Look at that. He had an assist in a game. So not a lot here going on. If I look at potential, I mean, again, there's nothing that I want to throw myself at right there. Let's look at the trading block here in the NHL. Oh, that's because I have... ooh, John Van Beesbrook is on the block now. There's definitely a few players here that I might want to look at. Yeah, I'm liking Eric Desjardins a lot. He's 25. It would be perfect for us for what we're trying to do here. I think that I'm going to try to make this work. They need a center. How about I give you Brent Gretzky? You're gonna be happy with that, right? I'm sorry for the background noise. I have no idea what my neighbor is doing. Maybe Adam Creighton. That's definitely not gonna be enough, but I can try to add. Oh, they had Francis Bouillon in real life. Yeah, that's not gonna be enough, is it? Okay, Adam Creighton probably doesn't have a whole lot of value. Really? Well, they want a center. I'm not gonna give them Brian Bradley. Pretty happy that I got Bobby Olick. Where's Jason Addison? Maybe that. Probably not enough, huh? Yeah. Ugh. If I had a pick, I might be able to. I don't want to give that much. Yeah, that's the part that's not necessarily very fun to watch. Here, take Brent Gretzky. Yeah, I wish that would be enough. Maybe Adrian. Oh, that's true. I do have Steve Richin. What if I add a draft pick to that? Nope. They're being very stubborn. I would like to have Eric Desjardins, though. I would really like to have him. Maybe Rob Zamuner. Let's see if I can. Okay. What if I add a draft pick? Nope. I'm not gonna do it. They want to rub me blind. That's what they want to do. I just don't have... what they want. What about this? Nope. Maybe at another time I can't make it to work unless I give up way too much. Eric Desjardins is great, but I don't want to sell the farm for him. Alright, Aaron Gavey signed. Maxim Sushinsky signed. There's been a trade between Quebec and Anaheim. Kevin Kaminski is going to Anaheim for Stéphane Morin. So Stéphane Morin in Quebec City. He did play for the Quebec Nordiques in real life. Okay, maybe... Yeah, we're just gonna continue to advance here. I would have loved to get Eric Desjardins. I'll check back on August 1st and see who's available then. And then maybe Montreal's going to change their mind. Or maybe somebody's going to make me an offer for... I do have Peltonen and Brent Gretzky on the trading block. But I'm not sure that anybody's going to bite. Alright, Mike Eastwood. Brent Bilodeau, wow. Alright, so today, oh god, it's the Hall of Fame induction. Alright, let's take a look again. I need a little bit of help on the team, but I'm just not willing to give up too much. Yeah, nothing here. Yeah, Desjardins is still available. Norm McIver is only a 2-star now. Not really an upgrade. Let's come back here. Alright, so Desjardins. What do they have on the... Who else do they have on the trading block? Montreal. Okay, so you have Desjardins and then you have Dopita. Yeah, if I take Dopita, you're gonna want more. He's not like a alpha star. Alright, so... They don't want any of my crap. Do you want Jeff Hackett? Nope, don't want him. I'm so too far off on the scale. I cannot do this. Alright, so the inducted players, the nominees are all here. Guy Lapointe got in. Bernie Federico got in. Ron Stackhouse got in. And Ron Greschner. Alright. Alright, so I just saw that. Don't really need to read that. I'm gonna go ahead and I think... There you go. Let's see if somebody bites on Dwayne Ross, and I don't really need him. I still have Johan Edberg. Alright. And if I can't make a trade, I can't make a trade. That's not necessarily the end of the world. But Eric Desjardins would be nice to have. Well, that was a pretty quiet month of August. Oh my god, there's been a trade between the Flyers and the Canadiens had Eric Desjardins on the block. I wonder if they traded Desjardins to the Flyers like they did in real life. No. So Brian Benning goes to the Montreal Canadiens and Kevin Haller is going to the Flyers. All of the same players were scouted again. September 1st. Ooh, there's... Oh, Alexander McGillney. Oh my. Oh, that would be nice. Of course, Desjardins would still be nice, but, you know, we've tried that a few... Oh, God. Alexander McGillney. What do they want from him? They don't have any real weaknesses. I don't think I'm going to be able to put a package together that's going to be, you know, even close to be interesting. Oh, you think it's a well-balanced offer? Okay. Just not enough. I cannot make it tip over. Can't make it tip over. Come on. What would you like? Steve Rutschin, not good enough. I feel like I'm so close. Sorry, I know it's, you know, just a lot of watching me click away. What do the Sabres have on the block? McGinney and Ciavaglia. Okay, I can always try. Ciavaglia was a forward. Okay. Do you want Rob Zamuner? Maybe. Ooh, I think I got it working. I got it working with Rob Zamuner. I'd rather keep him and maybe put Rob Zmayo in. Okay, Rob Zmayo is not enough. What about Steve Ruchin? No, not enough. What about Adam Cranen? Not enough. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be Rob Zamuner. Alright, so we're gonna make that trade. So we're gonna send Rob Zamuner the rights to see Steve Sullivan and an 11th round draft pick, which is basically me cheating. There's not going to be enough players for 11 rounds. For basically Alexander McGinney, I don't really care for Peter Ciavaglia. So McGinney should be helping us score some goals. We're going to lose Zamuner, but that's okay. And Steve Sullivan would be nice to have down the road. But I think that McGinney is going to score more goals for us. Now, keep in mind, I have 8 years left to win the Cup. So we're going to go ahead and offer that trade. I wanted to improve my D, but looks like I went for McGinney instead. Alright, so here we go. Alexander McGinney is now a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kind of sucks though, because we only really get him for 2.5 seasons on his contract instead of 3, because this season is going to be half a season. It is what it is. Yeah, pretty happy with that trade. McGinney should be good for a few years for sure. Oh, there's been a trade between the Flyers and the Panthers. So Terry Cartner goes to Florida for Georgi Yevtukin. I'm trying to go fast here. because there's really nothing going on. So trade between the Canadiens and the Penguins. Mike Stapleton's going to Montreal, and Yuri Dopita is going to the Penguins. Alright. Oh, Bruce, you've changed a couple of the players there. Alright, we're in October. I'm a little kid. Well, not that little anymore. In 94, I'm a teenager. I'm hoping for, you know, the NHL to sign that agreement so that we don't lose a season. My Nordiques are finally getting better. Alright, so we got Alexander Mogilny to score us some nice goals. I think he's going to be looking pretty good next to Brian Bradley. Okay, so there's been a trade between the Devils and the Panthers. So Alexis Salomatin and Dale Craigwell are going to the Devils for Alexander Prokopiev and the rights to David McKay. Small trades. I made the biggest trade of the off-season. Another trade between the Jets and the Nordiques. So the Jets sent Mark Astley and the rights to Reinhard Davis to the Nordiques for Bill Lindsay and Doug Friedman. Another depth move. Oh, Stéphane Morin raises awareness at local animal shelter. So we've kind of seen that before. Oh god. What's that? Wow, what a blunder in the news. Look at that. Anyway, he took care of a puppy. Oh, there's been a trade between New York and Quebec, the Islanders. So Vyacheslav Bezukladnikov is going to the Nordiques for Dwayne Norris. Not a big trade again. Nobody has the balls to make a big trade. The Canucks and the Kings did, and then I did. Nobody else has the balls to do anything significant. Alright, let's check. It doesn't hurt to check, right? Oh, Larry Murphy. He's 33 though. I would much prefer Eric Desjardins. But I can't afford him. Especially now I traded my best piece, which was the rights to Steve Sullivan. Oh, we have a trade proposal from the Jets. And then there's been a trade between Montreal and the Rangers. Denis Savard is going to the Rangers for Randy Gillen. Wow. I think the Rangers got the upper hand here. Ger Huff for Brent Gretzky. I don't think so. Go away with your alpha star players. I do not want them, unless I have to add them to get a star player. I should try to go get Keith Ketchuk from the Jets. Actually, you know what? I like the way I'm talking. Let's go ahead and check and just to look, just to see. Oh yeah, he's gonna be way too expensive. He didn't even have that great of a season last season. Keith Kachuk, and I can offer you just curious. What, my scout doesn't even respond to that. He is... They will never accept this offer. Okay, that's weird. Why are they like telling me right away stuff? I can't afford Keith Kachuk. I wanted to. And Eric Desjardins. I want all the good players, just so that the Montreal Canadiens cannot have them. Sounds fair, right? Oh, Mark Gregg got Ridley Gregg's dad had a good off-season for the Waiters. He's going to get better. So Ridley Gregg is a Ottawa draft pick from this last draft. That was his dad that just had a good off-season. Come on. January is right around the corner, or thereabouts. Oh, a trade between two bitter rivals. The Flyers and the Penguins made a trade. Len Barry goes to the Penguins for Paul Stanton. Another smaller trade. Oh, Brent Bilodeau, huh? Lots of the same players are shown in there again. Alright, we're going to go through December, and then it's going to be all the way to January, and we're going to do preseason, and then we're going to be right done. Oh, Islanders are offering us Marco Kiprusov for Vili Peltonen. Yeah, no. Not even something I'm going to consider a little bit. Now, if you would have offered me Zygmunt Palffy, then I would have thought about it. Or even Brian McCabe. I mean, the Islanders offered me Brian McCabe for Rob Murphy in my Sens playthrough last year. I jumped on that. I would take Brian McCabe again. He was pretty good with the Sens for me. Alright, the player polls. The best skater is Phil Housley from the Jets. The hardest shot, Al McInnes from the Flames. The smartest is Wayne Gretzky from the Kings. Toughest is Stu Grimson from the Devils. Fastest is Paul Coffey from the Kings. Best role model is Ron Francis from Pittsburgh. Cleanest is Andy Brickley from the Rangers. Toughest goalie to beat is Dominik Hasek from the Buffalo Sabres. And the coach you'd most like to play for is Scotty Bowman from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Alright, we're finally in January. Alright. There we go. Sean Rivers, I'm going to ignore the incident for him. I don't really care because he's not playing, but I care about Danton Cole not being that. Oh, he dropped to a star and a half, huh? I'm going to criticize him internally, Danton Cole. I was counting on you. I'm very disappointed. And you decide to respond poorly to that? Oh, you seem to forget that I'm not just a GM this year. I'm also a head coach. I'm going to give you something to think about. All right, I'm going to... I'm just gonna let the assistant do the lines for the preseason. Oh, I don't have enough defensemen or something? Oh, I don't have enough people dressed is probably what's going on. Yeah, I have 17 players dressed. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so I want to dress Karpovtsev. Alright, and I want to dress 2 forwards. Yeah, let's dress Alexander McGillney, since, you know, I just got him, you know. I guess. Jeez. Brant Myers, no. Cavaglia gave a... Peltonen. I'm gonna go with my... I like Maxim Sushinsky. There's a reason I picked him. He always seems to be playing decently, even though he doesn't have a high potential and high talent. That in the past 2 versions of Franchise Hockey Manager, he's been playing pretty good in my universes. So I'm going to go ahead and have him just for fun. There you go. All right. Oh, Doug Crossman is getting worse and worse. Alright. Again, I don't really care. It's just for... Oh, well, Alexander McGillney is going to be playing on the second line with Brent Gretzky and Mikael Anderson. Okay. If you say so, assistant coach, I'm going to change that when I take over, but... Alright, so we're playing against the Flyers, the first preseason game. I forgot to check their lineup. I apologize. I'm all over the place in this video. It's not me. It's my... I don't know. My brain is weird. So we have Nikolai Abibulin in net. Dominic Roussel is going to be in net for the Flyers. And we won 4-2. Alright, so that starts with a win. Shots were tied at 31 apiece. Rod Brind'Amour opened up the scoring for the Flyers in the first period. Then Alexander McGillney scored his first goal, even though it was preseason, in a Lightning uniform from Brent Gretzky and Sean Chambers. Then Bill Guerin from Brian Bradley and Danton Cole. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay here after 1. We had a fight between Kevin Dineen and Bill Guerin. 2 similar type of players, I would say. Then, in the second period, the Flyers tied the game at 2, but then Mikael Anderson scored from Brent Gretzky and Alexander McGillney. It was 3-2 Tampa Bay here after 2. Then finally in the third period, Mikael Anderson scored on the power play from Sean Chambers and Alexander Karpovtsev. It was 4-2, and that's how it ended. And Danton Cole is hurt. Oh, he's day-to-day, too, so that's fine. We're not too worried about it. Ooh, Rod Brind'Amour had it a little bit tougher. He's going to be out for 5 months, so we got an injury, but the Flyers got it worse. Rod Brind'Amour out 5 months with a torn UCL, so he's going to be out for a while. And then Jason Allison played center, and he is now better. He's also a star and a half now, so that's good. That's definitely good for us. I'm going to go ahead and move forward here. Teemu Selanne has a memorable game. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Devils. And then there's been a trade between the Islanders and the Buffalo Sabres. So the Islanders dealt Bill Berg and Jamie Ram to the Sabres for Andreas Karlsson and David Cooper. Yeah, I think that you know, Bill Berg is more of a defensive forward, but I think he's the best player in the trade. I definitely think that Buffalo got the upper hand here. Alright, and we're about to play against Anaheim. Alright, I'm gonna have... Oh, I have to dress somebody else, huh? Peltonen, you get to put a sweater on. Alright. Alright, we are going to be playing against Anaheim. Let's take a look at their lineup, which I didn't do for the Flyers. Alright, so Anaheim, they have Gieberg and Kirk McLean in net, and those are the two best players that they have. Jean-Jacques Daigneault, Ken Daneyko, Fitzizov, Smirnov, Davidov, Vasky, and Joe Rickey, former Lightning Joe Rickey. That's the D up front. It's a little sad to see. Tony Erkis, Brian Propp, Zarillo, McIntyre, Vitolins, Shitaroni, Kamiensky, Shibirev, Berglund, Kennedy, Lehman, Volk, Pat Flatley, and Martin St. Louis. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of talent there up front. Alright, Guibert's in net for Anaheim. We have Nikolai Bibulin. And we won 5-4. We outshot Anaheim 51-23. Sushinsky was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Zarillo was the second star with a goal and an assist. And German Titov was the third star with a goal. We had 10,830 people in attendance for the game. Alexander Mogilny scored the first goal of the game. That was a power play goal from Brian Bradley and Vili Peltonen. Then Doug Crossman scored from Maxim Sushinsky and Adam Creighton. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay here after 1. Then in the second period, Anaheim scored, made it 2-1, and then German Titov scored from Mark Bergevin and Rob DiMaio, then Doug Crossman from Mikhail Anderson and Alexander Karpovtsev, and finally Alexander Karpovtsev from Maxim Sushinsky and Mark Bergevin. It was 5-1 here after 2. And in the third period, Anaheim started to come back. They scored 3 unanswered goals, but they were just 1 short, and we won 5-4, and we are still undefeated here in the preseason. And Peltonen is getting better at left wing. Big game for Brian Noonan. He had a hat-trick against Winnipeg. And strong night for Ray Shepherd, who had 3 goals and an assist against Philadelphia. Right, and we are about to play Hartford back at home again. So let's take a look at the Whalers. No injuries in Hartford, so in net it's Sean Burke and Frank Pietrangelo. Then on D we have Eric Weinrich, Zardy Zalapski, Dan Kesmer, Grant Jennings, Adam Burt, Brian Glynn, Doug Uda, Bartolone. That D, past Zalapski and Weinrich, it's not that great. Murray Craven, Connie Ward, Poulin, Petrovicki, Castles, Janssen, Sanderson, Yake, Ornska, Greg, Verbeek, Komutov, and Karpov up front. Not the best team either. Let's see what we can do here. So Frank Pietrangelo is going to be in net. We are going to go with Nikolai Bibulin again. And we lost that 5-2. Maybe we took them a little lightly or something. Hartford completely outshot us 48-25. Patrick Poulin was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Dan Kesmer was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Adam Burt was the third star with an assist. 11,555 people in attendance for this game. So nobody scored in the first. Then in the second period, we scored twice. Boris Smirnov scored from Sean Chambers and Brian Bradley. And then Alexander Mogilny scored on the power play from Brian Bradley. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay here. But Hartford scored twice before the end of the period and tied the game at 2 after 2. And in the third period, Hartford scored 3 more goals and they ran away with a 5-2 victory. We also had a fight between Bill Guerin and Mark Janssens in the third period. Alright, Alexei Zemnov has a good game for the Jets. He had 4 assists against Chicago. Paul Coffey's injured for 3 months. Well, that sucks for the Kings. Torn triceps. Alexei Yashin has a strong game for the Senators. He had a hat trick against Buffalo. And Brad Dalgarno is injured while moving furniture and is going to be hurt for a couple weeks. Brad Dalgarno now plays for the Jets. Alright, and now we are playing in New Jersey against the Devils. Oh, they have a couple injuries there. So Tom Chorsky is hurt for 1 to 2 months, and then Scott Stevens is hurt for 2 to 3 months. Alright. So Martin Brothers starting to reach his potential here. And then Wendell Young, former Tampa Bay Lightning, in net as the backup. Bruce Driver, Vladimir Krupa, Tommy Albelin, Roman Amerlik, Kasatonov, Niedermeyer on D. Then up front it's Zdeno Siga, Stu Grimson, Troy Mallet, Zelipukin, Sadomatin, Egan, Barr, Samak, Stashny, Craigwell, Brown, Lemieux, McLean, and Stéphane Richer. Alright. Let's get him, boys. Alright, Martin Brothers gonna be in net for the New Jersey Devils, and we are going with Nikolai Abibulin. I'd like for Abibulin to catch fire here. And he is not. We won 3-2 though, so we beat the Devils 3-2. We outshot them 34-31. Vili Peltonen was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Dieter Egan was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Alexander Mogilny was the third star with 2 assists. So Peltonen opened up the scoring in the first from Doug Crossman and Ram DiMaio. And then New Jersey tied the game shortly after. It was tied at 1 here after 1. And in the second period, New Jersey took the lead 2-1. But then we have Mikael Anderson scoring from Alexander Mogilny and Brian Bradley. It's tied at 2 after 2. And then in the third period, Vili Peltonen scored on the power play from Alexander Mogilny. That was a game winner, 3-2. New Jersey never tied the game, and we won that. Memorable night game for Ray Shepard. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Sharks. Charlie Huddy has a good game. He had 3 goals and an assist against Philadelphia. And Danton Cole is starting to feel better. You know what? You are not happy, so I'm leaving you right there on the bench for the rest of preseason. I'm going to put Jeff Hackett in, see if he can catch fire. We're playing against the Kings. Alright, so as we saw, the Kings have Paul Coffey that's injured. Kelly Rudy and Tammy in net. Coffey is hurt. Charlie Huddy, Daryl Sidor, Alexei Zitnik, Frolov, and Ivanov, Blake McSorley on D. And we have Mike Donnelly, Tony Granato, I don't remember his first name, Sylvain Couturier, thank you, Wayne Gretzky, Robert Lang, Barkov, Marchand, Derek Plant, Keith Acton, Pavel Bure, Bob Kudelski, Eric Curry, and Thomas Sandstrom. So there's definitely talent still on that Kings lineup. Wayne Gretzky can dispatch us all by himself. So you got Tammy in net for the Kings. We're going to go with Jeff Hackett. And we won 4-1. We were outshot 30-22. Boris Mironov was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Bobby Olik was the second star with 2 goals. And Sean Chambers was the third star with 2 assists. We had 11,545 people in attendance for this game. Right, so Bobby Olik scored twice in the first period. First one from Sean Chambers and Boris Mironov, and the second one from Vili Peltonen and Sean Chambers, and just like that, it was 2-0 Tampa Bay here after 1. Then in the second period, the Kings scored, and it was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 2. And then we scored 2 more goals in the third period. Brent Gretzky scored from Kevin Lowe and Jason Allison. And Maxim Sushinsky scored from Adam Creighton and Boris Mironov. And it was a 4-1 victory here against the LA Kings. We limited Gretzky to only an assist. That is pretty good. Brent Gretzky improves at left wing. He just played against his brother. Okay, we have 2 preseason games left against Dallas and against Boston. Alright, Danton Cole on the edge of returning. Let's put Abibulin back in, and then we'll have Hackett in for the other one after that. Alright, so Dallas. We are in Dallas. 3rd biggest city in the US. Alright, John Casey and that Edward Hartman guy, are in net. So, yeah, Hartman played really well last season, but he's only a 1.5 stars, so I'm not sure if that's going to continue this season. On D, we have Jim Johnson, Mark Tinordi, Jacobson, Hatcher, Ludwig, Matvichuk, Tommy Shodin, Casper on D. Then up front we have Black, Dallin, Duchesne, Broughton, Bullard, Todd Ellick, Dave Gagne, Mike Modano, Ross Courtnall, Mike Craig, Trent Klatt, Yeri Lettinen, and Yannick Leroux. Sorry. Decent team all around. Maybe a little bit weak goaltending. Nikolai Abibulin in net for us. Edward Hartman in net for the Stars. And we lost 3-2. And Nikolai Abibulin did not catch fire. So Dallas outshot us 31-23. Dave Gagne was the first star with a game. He had a goal and an assist. Adam Creighton was the second star with a goal and an assist as well. And Mark Tinordi was the third star with 2 assists. Dallas scored first in the first period, and it was 1-0 Dallas after 1. Then they took a 2-0 lead into the second period, and then Alexander McGillney scored on the power play from Adam Creighton and Brian Bradley. 2-1 Dallas here at that point, and then Dallas scored again, made it 3-1 after 2. And then in the third period, Adam Creighton scored on a power play from Alexander McGillney and Brian Bradley. But it was too little too late. 3-2 Dallas is the final score. Oh, Jason Ellison has a day-to-day injury. Alright, so you are going to get scratched. You are going to get dressed. Oh, and now Jeff Hackett has been put in net. That's perfect. Alright, now let's see what we can do in Boston against the Bruins. Passes on point for Valery Kamensky with the Nordiques. He had 4 assists against the Whalers. Good game for John Tucker. Good old John Tucker is now in Vancouver. He had a hat trick against the Washington Capitals. You sure didn't do that when you were playing for me. Then Danton Cole is healthy. Alright, so Boston is in town. That's our last preseason game. It means that I'm about to stop the video. Let's see here. Andy Moog and Marcus Kidder, Don Sweeney, Glenn Wesley, Shargorodsky, Bob Beers, Ray Bork, Gordon Murphy on D. Of course, when you have Ray Bork, everything is fine. Ten Donato, Dave Reed, Pat Conacher, Dmitry Kavartanov, Belolov, Stumpel, Juno, Oates, Smolinski, Van Anen, Bikov, Hines, Leach, Murray, and Neely up front. Alright, maybe Hackett can catch fire here right before the end of preseason. Nope, we lost 4-2, and none of my goaltenders are doing too hot. Boston outshot us 40-33. Ray Bork was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Bobby Ellick was the second star with a goal, and Glenn Wesley was the third star with a goal and an assist. 10,857 people in attendance for this game. Nobody scored in the first. And in the second period, Bobby Ellick scored from Maxim Sushinsky and Sean Chambers. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 2. Then in the third period, Boston scored 3 goals. Then Danton Cole made it 3-2 with 43 seconds left to go in the third period from Kevin Lowe and Brent Gretzky. But then Boston added another goal with 11 seconds left to go in the game, and we lost 4-2. Alright, so kind of a mixed bag here in the preseason. We won a few games, but we also definitely lost some. Looks like we're going to start the season at home, and then we're gonna have a couple away games. So January is gonna be really short, and that's gonna be a short video for next time. So sometimes it's nice to have a video to watch that's not over an hour. That's also nice sometimes to make a video that's not over an hour. So I understand it's only like 6 games, so it's gonna be pretty short, but still I'm gonna, you know, we have a lot of things to unwrap still with my new lines and whatnot, so we're gonna go ahead and figure that all out at the start of the next video. But for today I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. Gonna go ahead and save, and I apologize. I know that there was a lot of, you know, just clicking around trying to make trades work and everything, and that's probably not the most interesting thing that has ever happened in the history of humanity, but it's part of the game, and I did get a pretty decent piece that's going to help us hopefully propel the Tampa Bay Lightning to get into the playoffs, because that's my goal. I want to make the playoffs this season, so hopefully that happens. Alright folks, as usual, thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.